Hello. We're going to start by making a curve, a circle, from the top viewport, looking down. We can maximize the viewport. Center of circle is going to be 0 enter, and we're going to make it about 20 mil. It's really up to you anyway. Right, then we're going to select this line and make an offset curve about 2 mil. So we're gonna type in here 2 enter, and then going inside. So we need to place the mouse inside the circle and left click. Right, now if we change into perspective, you'll see that we have two flat curves. We can select those two lines, both of them, and go to solid, extrude curve straight, in order to create a solid. Okay, just make sure that both sides it's set to no. Okay, if it's in yes, it will go both sides. We don't want this. Okay, both sides no, and again about 2 mil high. So we should be having something like this. Okay, right, now we're going to change again to looking down, top viewport, and we're going to draw all the pattern that is going to be inside. So we're going to go to curve. In the first block we're going to make a line, a simple line about 5 mil. So 5 enter, shift, so it's like that. I mean shift with the keyboard and left click, then right click. So we have a 5 mil line. This is just a reference. We're not going to use this line. Okay, this is just to make sure that we are doing the things in proportion. So now we're gonna make an arc that is going to go from this endpoint to that endpoint, something like this. Okay, again it's really up to you. Now we can delete this line, and we're going to select this line again, and here in curve, second block, offset curve. We're going to make an offset from this curve about 0.7 in that direction, to the right. Okay, and now we're going to go to curve, first block, circle, but we're going to choose this option, 2 point. You see here in the command line, we're going to draw a circle by using 2 different points. Start of diameter, it's one of them, and end, it's the other one. Right, now we select this curve, this circle, and we're gonna make a mirror. Mirror it's here, and the start of mirror plane is going to be this middle point. Just make sure that this magnet, this OSNAP is activated, and then start of mirror plane, it's this one. Well, actually it could be this one or could be this one, doesn't matter. Left click, and now in order to place it where we want it, here, we need to make sure that shift on the keyboard is pressed. Okay, so shift is pressed, shift is not pressed. Okay, left click, and we have this. Right now we can select all of it and mirror again. Actually we're going to make another copy next to this one. Okay, so start of mirror plane, any point more or less here, doesn't matter, we will adjust it later. So left click and then shift going up. Okay, or going down, it's the same. Left click, and now we can select one of them and adjust it as we want it. More or less something like this should be alright. Okay, but again, as I said, you can draw any pattern you want. Right, now we have a lot of curves that we want to get rid of. We want to get rid of this, of this, of this line, this line and this line. To do that, we need to go to trim, select everything, press enter, and then left click in the pieces of line, the bits that we don't want. So left click again, left click, left, left and left. Then finally, if we don't want to remove anything else, just click enter again. Right now we have a lot of different curves that they are not joined together. We should select all of them, and here it join. Now you see here 10 curves joining into one closed curve. That's what we need. Right, we're going to use this element to make a pattern. But before that, you see this edge, it's too sharp. Okay, it should be slightly smoother. We're going to use this command, fillet curve, and by default I think it's gonna be like 1 mil, but let's change it up to 0.2 for instance. And it's asking now select first curve to fillet, this one, second curve, this one. Oh, that's too much maybe. Control Z to go backwards, and let me try with 0.1. Yeah, 0.1 should be okay. And then just repeat the same process here. Right, just mind that the moment that we use this command, fillet curve, it splits all the lines, all the curves. So we need to select them again and join. And now it's a closed curve. Just make sure that it has to be closed so we can create a solid after that, okay? Because the purpose of all this is that we are going to make a solid. Right, so we select this first element and we're going to copy from any point to the right. Just make sure that shift on the keyboard is pressed. Right, so we just copy once, okay? Then right click. And now we need to make a lot of copies of this. There are ways of doing this much quicker, but I would like you to see how to do it. I mean, the most basic way of doing it, so you can see more commands. We're going to select the first element with it, and we're going to use mirror. Then that's the key, the start of mirror plane. We should select this point or this point, okay? So start of mirror plane, left click here and shift up. Okay, now we have 3 elements. Now we're going to select these 2 and again mirror. Now the start of mirror plane is going to be this one. You see? We're going to make it one more time. We're going to select these 4 and mirror, start of mirror plane, this middle point up. Okay. Okay, now we're going to select all of them and we're going to copy them like that. Okay, it's starting to look like a proper pattern. Now we want to make another copy, so we're going to select all this row, mirror, and now the start of mirror plane is going to be this point, okay, or either of this one. As long as it sets middle point, it's fine. And always remember shift, in this case to the left or to the right, okay, but not up or down, okay, always, but in this case right or left. Okay, this should be enough. Just let me make sure that this fits. Yeah, should be alright. Well, before placing the pattern inside the circle, we need to get rid of all these lines. To do that, we should start by trimming. So trim, we could select all of them, but I recommend you to select just a few rows, not all of them at once. Okay, then enter, and we can just drag windows to select 2 lines at once. Okay, this is quite well, I was about to say annoying, but I mean it takes quite a lot of time, but it's a good exercise to start working with curves. Okay, look, in this case we can just do like that, much quicker. It's not like a massive effort, but it's quite useful to start working with lines and understand how they work. You see now? I've done all this and all this. I'm going to select trim again. Okay, and enter. Okay, so now we have like 131 curves that they are, all of them, they are open. Okay, just mind that they should be closed. So I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to click on join. You see, now I have 43 closed curves. That's what I need. If the moment that you select all of them and you select on join, you see that you have, for instance, I don't know, 27 closed curves and whatever open curves, you should really make an effort to find the open curves and close them. If they are open, basically they are useless. You cannot do anything with that. One tip to find closed lines, sorry, to find open lines, it's to type in here in the command line cell open CRV. You see, I'm doing it again. Cell open CRV. The moment I press enter, it's highlighting the lines that are open. Okay. It also works with closed line. So if I type in cell closed curve, 45 curves added to selection. So are these ones and these ones. Okay. You might find that you have something like that. This is also a mistake. You cannot have like an intersection of lines. Okay. Okay. Now we need to center this pattern into this. To do it, well, to make it easier, we're going to select these lines and put it into the red layer. Okay. And we need to draw a line from what it should be the middle point. Let's say it's approximately the middle of this green line. It's going to be approximately the middle, well, the center of the pattern. So we can just move from this line, from the middle of this line to the 0 enter. The 0 enter is going to be the center of the pattern. Okay, and now we should delete this line and make a circle from 0 enter to approximately, I'm going to uncheck these boxes, and the circle is going to be like that. It doesn't matter if it's like this, or like this. Okay, now we're going to hide the first layer we did, the green one, and you see that we have this line going there. Basically, I draw this line because I want to get rid of everything which is outside this curve. So I want to get rid of all of this. Okay, so I'm going to use trimming again, select everything, enter, and I want to get rid of this. Just doing, I mean, try to do it as I am doing it. Just try to get closer and remove all these bits. just ignore these ones because you don't really have to trim them. The moment you accept, you can just select them and delete them. Right. Finished. Yeah, and enter. And we can, as I said before, we can just select these lines, these curves, and delete them. Okay, now this curve that I did, we can also delete them. And now the problem we're having is that these are open curves. Okay, and as I said, in order to create a solid, we need them to be closed. We need to close these lines. If you show the green layer for a second, you will see that in this, what is the end of the curves, it's hidden. It's hidden under the frame of the pendant. So we can just draw simple lines. Sorry, we check the endpoint now, and from there to there. It doesn't really matter. Sorry, it doesn't really matter if it's a straight line or if we do like that. Or if we do an arc, because it's not going to be seen. It's going to be hidden under the frame. Okay. I know there are ways of doing this exercise much quicker and much more impressive, but I do believe that doing it like this is better in terms of knowing why things are not working usually. It's quite probable that you're not doing this exercise well the first time. Okay, so that's it. Just select everything and join. See, now into one closed curve. So now all this is a closed curve. Okay, now we can select this, go to perspective for instance. Now show the frame, and now we can, with this line selected, go to solid, extrude, and for instance we can extrude it like 1.7. Well, that's too much. 1.5. Not really convinced. We're going to select this, extrude 1 mil. Okay, right. What else? Now we're going to put some gems around this frame, and we're going to put a jump ring in there. So we can just go to curve, and here we have duplicate edge. So we can duplicate one of these edges, this one, enter, and now we're going to make an offset curve 1 mil. Okay, so we have this curve going there. We're going to use this curve to put the gems on it. So now with this curve selected, F6, gem on curve. If you see now, the gem is not properly placed on the surface. We need to click here where it says, well, actually down could be useful as well, or also object. Okay, if we select object, we need to click on the surface. Then these gems are 2 mil, it's quite big. We're gonna make it like 1.5, and we just have to keep to press on there and move it up to that point, for instance. Okay, and then, well, we can put it slightly down like that maybe, and enter. Right, we're gonna make now the cutters for the gem. So usually by default, when we're doing gem on curve, all the gems that we are creating are going to be on the gem 03 layer. So if we right click where it says gem 03, we will select the gems that we've done. Once they are selected, just press F6 and gem cutter. And I would recommend you to use this one. It's really up to you and really depends on how is the setter going to set it, and also depends on the company you're working and stuff, but this one is quite, yeah, it's quite used. So just selecting there, clicking there, sorry, and the green button and enter. Okay, so now we have some solids and we need to make the holes. So we're going to make a Boolean difference. That's in solids, Boolean difference. The first object is going to be the frame. So click on the frame and enter. And then second set of surface, just select one of the cutters and then enter. Okay, that's it. Just select the cutters and delete. If we hide the gem for a second, you will see that we've done the holes. Okay. Okay, finally we're going to draw the jump ring. We can get into shaded, which is usually better. We're going to get into side view and the jump ring is going to be in there. Jump ring is as easy as drawing two simple lines and extrude. We're going to make a circle. We can make an ellipsoid, but really, well, as you wish. Circle, we're going to start, well, we can actually activate the grid here, and now you see that the mouse is going, well, on the grid. Okay, that's, I mean, each square it's 1 mil, so now this it's 2 mil, yeah, something like that, for instance. Well, it's going to be quite quick anyway. And now the thickness of the jump ring. So I'm going to make offset curve and I'm going to make it 1.8. Yeah. Well, I've drawn these lines on the gem curve, which is not really usual. So I better select both of them and get into a regular layer, metal 03. So now you see, we go back to regular viewport, you see that we have these two lines in there. Well, finally, we're going to go to solid, extrude. Well, in this case, we could check both sides, and you know that one square is 1 mil, so that would be 2 mil wide. We better get into metal 01. Okay, and that's it. Well, finally, what we can do also is make this edge a little bit more rounded. So we can fillet edge, instead of 1, let's say 0.3, enter. Yeah, something like that. Just select the edge and enter twice. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much.